Welcome to Infinity Reviews. Oh no! Oh my god! No way! Oh, it's Sabretooth! Oh, look at these fights! Alrighty guys, we are now jumping into my review for The Accountant 2. And before we get things off, I just want to say, something before we start. Thunderbolts is coming. And yesterday, when I went to go see this at Cinemark, and I was able to get my Thunderbolts cup with every single character on it. I got Yelena, Taskmaster, Ghost, Bucky, Red Guardian, and John Walker. And it's a very cool cup, and I really like it. Just saying that, Thunderbolts comes out next week, and I cannot be more excited. Now, let's get back into The Accountant 2. This was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. I had a fun time. What I'll say is Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal, they're great. They are great. The reason why this movie was so enjoyable, I believe, was because of them. Now, that doesn't mean the movie didn't have its flaws. There were definitely some flaws in the movie, so we're going to talk about it. So, the basic story for The Accountant 2 is, we have Christian Wolff, played, of course, by Ben Affleck, and it's been about 8 years since the last movie, in real time and in movie time. So we're following him. He is kind of, what's the word for it? He's kind of laying low right now. He's not doing much. He's laying low until, he is called back in when he learns Raymond King, played by J.K. Simmons, has died, which that is not a spoiler because they reveal that in the trailer. And now, he is called in by, the girl who was kind of J.K. Simmons' kind of side character, side agent last movie, and they kind of have to figure out why did they kill him? Why did he kill him? That calls him to call in Jon Bernthal playing Ben Affleck's brother, Braxton, which these two are just so great. I am a huge fan of Jon Bernthal. I've always been a fan of him. If that's to, his work as the Punisher, even if it was a small little kind of role in The Amateur. I just love whenever this guy shows up in something, I am just so excited to see what's going to happen. And, this might be one of my favorite Jon Bernthal's performances because, it's in a similar vein of a Punisher type character, but he's not playing the Punisher, The Punisher, really is a character who's just, really, aggressive, sad, and he just, kills people because, he wants to make things right for his family. Braxton, though, this guy, he's been alone, for his entire life, and he's always had to be the one, have to deal with his brother, Ben Affleck, because he does have a condition, which, makes him non-sociable, and he was always kind of the outcast with his father as well. If you watch the first movie, you know that. But, I just love the relationship, of them building up this relationship back and back, and, there are some really funny parts with Jon Bernthal. Jon Bernthal steals the movie, in my opinion. Ben Affleck is great, but Jon Bernthal was the one who stood out to me. I loved him. I love this movie. I love Braxton. I need to see more of these two together. Please, can we do a spin-off series for Braxton? Or can we do another movie with them teaming up again? That was fun. Now, so they do call Braxton, and of course the brothers go and try to figure out this conspiracy, and then that's kind of the basis of the movie. And like I said, Jon Bernthal, of course, was the standout, in my opinion, in this film. But Ben Affleck is also great as well. Ben Affleck, I think, has quietly, started to become more of a director and producer more than a movie star. Because I think, when he played Batman, kind of soured him a little bit, getting more into movies. Just because, Batman was a large part of his life, and they kind of treated him really badly. I'm just saying, they treat him really badly. And Ben Affleck, really hasn't really had a huge hit movie in a long time. I would honestly say The Accountant was probably the last, movie, I really, really enjoyed him in. But I'm so glad they decided to do this sequel because he is as good as he was in that original movie. There's a whole scene, there's a scene with him line dancing, guys, which, in my opinion, could have been, the cheesiest of scenes, which could have been totally horrible. But the way they do it with his character makes it hilarious and fun. And I'll say about the movie. There's a lot of times where things I think could have been taken as cheesy or oh, that's too funny. But I think because you have two great actors in here, in Jon Bernthal and Ben Affleck, it just works that way because you have two people who they can go to very serious, but then they go to very comedic as well. And I also felt with this movie, they were also trying to build up the lore of the accountant a bit more as well, getting us an idea for who Ben Affleck works for, even who Braxton works for, and kind of building out those sides of this world. But I will be honest, there were some flaws as well. One of them is the story. It's not the greatest story, guys. I'll tell you that. It's not the greatest story. It's a very, at times, it's a confusing story because, there's so much going on. We have this plot going on, with trying to figure out J.K. Simmons' murder. Then we have this plot of, these, I don't know what to call them, these kind of, I think they were gangsters, or, maybe, hired hitmen. I don't really know. We never really got into it. Who are the bad guys who actually killed J.K. Simmons. And that's going on. Then there's this also other story with this, other secret agent who has relations to J.K. Simmons and, to the overall story. And, that's a lot of stuff going on. The story isn't the strongest. But like I said, what keeps you in this movie is the relationship of Jon Bernthal and Ben Affleck's character. Braxton and Christian are so fun. Like I said, I would see a Disney Plus. I would see a series about these characters. I would watch another movie just about these characters. It was just fun to be around. Movies are to go to experience an event, to go experience something. And, the story might have been the strongest, but just being there with these two brothers, and being a brother myself, maybe this is fun. This is a fun time. It is a fun time. And of course, the action is great as well. I honestly, before this, I just watched Havoc, which that reaction is coming up very, very soon. I'm just getting rid of the copyright right now. And, the action to me, I wasn't as good as Havoc, but it's still really, really good action. The action in here reminds me more of, a Jason Bourne type of action movie, but still very, very good. And so, but I thought this was a good movie. I thought it was a fun time. I was in a packed theater, which was so great to see because I feel like the last couple movies I've been seeing, the movies theaters have not been so packed. And I'm glad for a movie like this, it was packed, and I had a great time. So, and overall with the movie, I would have to give this movie, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. Because I thought that my favorite parts were the parts with Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal. But I think it's a weaker story, and I think it's a story that doesn't really know, what it wants to be. I think it wants to go a certain way, but then it goes another way, then it goes back to that way. It didn't really know, what it was trying to do, but still, I enjoyed the film. It's not a bad film. It's still a pretty good film. So I would go check it out if you haven't checked it out. It's a really fun time at the movies, and please go see it because, all of you are asking for original IP. All of you want to go see original movies. Here you go. Original movies. I counted two. Original movie. Sinners. Go see those movies, please, and stop complaining that we don't do original films in Hollywood because they do. Just people don't go see them. But guys, what did you think about The Accountant 2? Leave comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.